Tell me who you are.
Okay. Terry Slaybaugh, Director of Aviation for the Department of Aviation for the City of Dayton.
And today is January 25th,
Correct.
2016.
Correct.
Okay.
6 days after my 60th birthday. So,
Well, happy birthday.
yeah, the big 6-0.
Big 6-0. I had that a couple years ago and
Yeah.
survived it.
Well, apparently it hasn't hurt yet.
Yeah,
So.
I feel great.
Yeah, I'm going that way too.
That's it.
I got a physical today, and this 36-year-old guy was taking my blood pressure and stuff, and he wished me a belated happy birthday, and I said, yeah, I turned 60. And I looked at him, I said, but I think I could still take you. So
That's right.
he said that won't be necessary.
You can arm wrestle him.
Yeah.
It's about being as young
Well,
as
when
you
I
feel.
got 5 boys, I gotta keep the upper hand, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I had 2 boys and a girl, and it was
You gotta stay in shape.
constant work. Yeah. I just have 2 or 3 questions here. And so, for the project that we're working on, what are your expectations for this history project about the Dayton
Right.
Airport?
Well, I think, and I've kind of experienced this before when I was directing the Rochester Airport in Rochester, New York. Is one of the things that was always frustrating for me is when I went to look for kind of the story of the airport. How did the airport get here? Who was involved in it? How did it evolve? Because now it's gonna change again. We're changing it every day when we come to work. So I always was frustrated that it wasn't easy to go obtain that history, and it wasn't easy to communicate that history to someone who now was going to be a part of changing it again. Because I think that's always it's always instructional to know what came before you, especially when you're running a place like this, and now we're talking about doing something that is going to change it dramatically. It's always good to know, how it got to the state it's in. And I found the same thing in Dayton. There was very little. If someone had done it sometime, it wasn't apparent to me, and it wasn't apparent where it was. So I felt like that was something we need to do as part of this process. We need to record as much of that history as we can. I mean, we're not even in the same century anymore from when the airport was started. In another 15 to 20 years, it'll be 100 years, and a lot of things get lost because we have a whole generation of people that won't be around, to tell us what happened. And I'm sure you're struggling with that right now. So that had a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
The other the thing that kind of something that really kind of impressed that upon me lately was the honor flights with the World War II veterans, and that now they've opened up honor flights to Korean War veterans and Vietnam War veterans because the World War II veterans are going away. So, when you think about history, we are losing like a whole generation of people when a lot of things like this were started in kind of the industrial era of the country. And so, I just thought it would be important right now that we do it.
It's a constantly dwindling resource.
Yeah.
And that's the way that it works.
Yeah. And I don't think history is as, in the age we live in today, it's not as prevalent with people as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I grew up, history was a big part of my childhood, and there was a lot of fascination with the first automobile, the first airplane, the first high rise, the first single span bridge, and we don't seem to have that fascination with those things anymore. So I thought it was important that we make an attempt.